Alrighty, it's Friday morning, and we're about to get out into the shuttle bus to get some work done. And I'll give you a tour of where the last video finished, so we got an idea of where we're going today. So let's get out there and take a look at things. Okay, I've mentioned this before, but up top there's a 6 switch panel with LED lights. To the right of that is my 2000 watt pure sine inverter on off switch and shows battery gauge. Below the 6 switch is a 6 fuse block, and below that is a breaker to protect all that stuff and be able to shut all that off, if I'm going to be gone for a while. Below that is a shunt for my 12 volt, shows how much battery I've used and how much I have left, stuff like that. It's a calculation. Below that I've got another breaker, and that's a big one. That's a 100 amp breaker that goes down here to this 500 watt inverter, which will power the smaller things like I just said. Then starting up here again in the center is my solar charge controller, where the solar power from the solar panels comes inside, supplies that converter or the controller, and that's MPPT, so it works most efficiently. And then it'll send the battery, that power down to the batteries, which is down here, and that's rated at 60 amps. And then over here is my breaker box, and those 2 breakers will go down to a square box down below there with 2 sets of outlets. So let's get started on that, and I'll get back with you when I've made some progress. Okay, I got the diesel heater control up there and mounted and wired up, and above that I've got a red LED. It'll show anytime that I've got the diesel heater powered up, and the reason for that is because it's kind of hard to see the little screen on that, and if that's on all the time, it's just running battery down, and if you're not running your diesel heater, so that'll show me that I've got the power on to the diesel heater. And you don't need that control panel on the diesel heater wired up all the time anyway, only when it's running. And then did a bunch of wiring in the back here. I don't know if we can really focus on any of it. I don't know how much glare you're getting from that window, but you can see she's coming down through there. And then I had to add on to those control wires. They're going down through there because they just weren't long enough. And I disconnected all of the diesel heater hoses except for the pump way back there in the center. And from there it's going to be the green hose, which is better for suction, better seal for suction. And then that filter will be connected to that. It'll still be suction. And then the white hose on that, still suction, will go underneath this hatch here and to where this aluminum tank is down here. And the hookup for that is about right there. So it's going to have to run underneath here and over to about here where the tank hookup will be. And then I can fill that tank up with diesel fuel. Right now it doesn't have anything in it. And I've got a gauge down in here. Got a fuel gauge down there that I've got to wire up yet. That's got a round gauge on it to show me how much fuel I've got in the tank. Most people don't have that, do they? Well, I do. So anyway, these wires here are all going to be gathered up and strapped right underneath this set of shelves, nice and neat. I also brought them over here with tie straps and down and around, and it's going to go underneath the baskets, those black baskets, milk crates, what y'all call them, over to here. And what else did I do? I think that's about it. But that's a lot. Nothing was easy. Oh, I know. I put in a 20 amp breaker over here. Hang on. I swear my frickin' phone don't ring unless I'm trying to record something or in the bathroom. Anyway, I put in a 20 amp breaker back in here. I don't know if you can see it back in that pile. And then I put a 10 amp fuse right here so that that's what's actually protecting the diesel heater. And the 20 amp breaker will just basically be a shut off switch. And that'll, when I flip that on, that'll shine this little red light over here and power up the control. So, loud truck noises. Anyway, I've got some of these things turned on here just to get power up to it. Those two are from my two banks of batteries. These two, they're 100 amp. And then this 20 amp here, no, that's 100 amp too. That goes up and powers everything 12 volts up here. Everything. The panel up here, all of that. And all of this down through here. And that's all wired up now too. So I've made some good accomplishments. The next thing I got to do is wire this up in my equipment that I just ordered. Just came here on Amazon Prime, I see. So now I can go get that and get the wiring on that 110 volt side. That'll come in from my shore power. And that's going to come in right down underneath the bed here. Probably, I'm going to guess right around here. My fill hose goes up right there. You can see the fill hose, the clear one. That's for the diesel. So I think I'm going to put my shore power plug right here, because then it's going to go up to through the hole. There's a hole up here through the back of that circuit breaker box. But it's also a shore power is going to go to a charger that I'm going to have down here somewhere. It's a 100 amp charger, big one. And that will connect over to these batteries. And I'm thinking I might be able just to connect to these two distribution bars with that, because those go directly down to the battery banks through this 100 amp breaker here, and read up on it, and you can send power backwards through a breaker, and it works just as good as if it's coming this way through the breaker. So it'll still be protected, although the battery charger will also have its own limits and fuses that it can blow if it shorts out somewhere. So I got plenty of protection. I guess that's about all for today. I think that's all I'm going to get done today. I might come back out and do the 110 outlets. We'll see. It's still nice out. Got a lot of sunshine yet. There's the highway out there. It's 5:30 right now. It's nice and warm in here. It's probably 70, 75 degrees in here. And I'm working with just my shirt on. No hat, no gloves, nothing like that. And I'm nice and toasty warm. Actually, just perfect. Anyway, I'll get back with you here in a minute. And I'm not done with this video yet. Okay, here's where we ended up last night. I did a little bit of cleaning up this morning. My parts didn't come from Amazon yesterday because I put my trash can down in my end of my driveway, leaving room enough for the UPS or the Amazon truck to pull in, but not to pull up the driveway because the frost was still not out, and yet the top foot of soil had thawed out, and it was really really muddy. Almost got my riding mower stuck going down there to get the mail yesterday. And so all winter the UPS guy has been hand carrying these packages. Sorry about the bouncing around there. Been hand carrying these packages up to the house and just staying down at the road and hoofing it up here. And it's not that far. It's maybe as far as what you'd go from your car to the parking lot of a store to the store itself. It's just pure laziness that he wouldn't bring that up here yesterday. Anyway, so he sent me a message saying that it was undeliverable, and so they're going to deliver it again today. So I checked down there, and it's dried up a bit. So I pulled a trash can up to the house so that they can drive up here and maybe get stuck, maybe just tear up the driveway. I don't know. I don't want them tearing up the driveway because I'd have to correct that myself. Anyway, I've got a little bit that I can do before that gets here, and it's 3 o'clock right now in the afternoon, and it's supposed to be delivered by 5:30. So by that time, maybe they'll have been here with it, and I can carry on. But what I'm going to be working on today is this. Where's here? Doing this backwards. This box here, and the breaker box, and the 4 outlets down below that. And I can get some of that wired up right now. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll get back with you here when I've got you something to see. Okay, let's pick up where we left off with the last video. I was doing a bunch of wiring, and I don't think I showed it, but I installed the one yellow cord down here to the big inverter. I've got another one ready to plug in over here. That one will go to the other side of the passenger side of the bus. And I also hooked up the shunt, which is this yellow wire and the blue wire down here and the black wire, and ran those over to the back end of the panel, which is getting pretty well cluttered up with wires. And then I'd also run a red wire, a little skinny red one you see there, with the coupling on it there, down to this bus bar, because that's going to be permanent power whenever the switches are turned on, which will be all the time whenever I'm running the, camping, because this this blue inverter, the smaller one, will be on all the time running my refrigerator and a bunch of other things. So I've got the shunt wired up, which is that right there. That's the back side of it. This is the front side of it. And I followed the instructions on the package, and it showed me where the wires are supposed to come out, and it was showing on the left side. And so that's where I put it, but also then had the little screen turned upside down. So when I powered up first time, everything's upside down, so I had to pop that back out. It's just a friction fit, so no big deal. Had to flip it over and push it back in the other way. And on this way up there, the little square box, that's the start button for this larger inverter down here, 2000 watt inverter. And that's also got a gauge on it. I don't know if you can see it there, it's green. And when you push that blue button, it turns the power of on the inverter, but it also lights up how many bars of power you got on that little screen up there. And I had just finished wiring up these outlets double duplex for running my bigger utilities like the microwave, coffee maker, toaster oven, stuff like that needs a lot of power. And that'll come directly off from the big inverter through this yellow plug here, plugged into that black plug down there by the clear hose. That in turn goes all the way up in the back end of that junction box, or the breaker box. That's got two 20 amp breakers in it. I wasn't really happy with that because I was using stranded wire from this cord. This black cord is it's 14 gauge, so it's the right gauge. And stranded's okay, it still gives the right amount of power, but when you're squashing it down behind screws, you may not get as good a contact as you want. So I pulled this all apart this morning and pulled everything, guts out of that thing all the way down through the receptacles, and got it all set out here. And I'm waiting for tomorrow for some 14.2 with ground NM, which is interior wiring. It's a single strand instead of stranded wires. So there's 3 conductors in it, but they're all solid wires. And I'll rewire those tomorrow. Then I'll feel really good about it. I'll also be able to run my vacuum cleaner off from that circuit. Now let's see. Back to this diesel heater. Behind that orange cord, way down in there, you can see a green hose hooked up to the tank. There's a drop tube down inside the tank, and then you can see the hose comes over here, down here, over here to a filter. And I've got that filter tilted up. You want to have it tilted up while you're filling things so that you purge all the air out of there as it's filling up. And I'll be taking all these humps out of here and just making sure that there's no bubbles in the line, because that'll stall your heater out and you don't want that. Then it goes underneath to, you can be looking at this kind of upside down. There's the pump, and the pump is oriented in an angle too. And I left the screw loose on it for mounting it because I want to make sure that that's all purged out really good before I screw it down tight. And then the wires will go on up, join all these other wires and go on up to the diesel heater. And I still got to pull that diesel heater off one more time and put a sleeve through the wall there so that my insulation doesn't get hot. Well, it's 6 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and I've got the control panel almost all buttoned up. Let me turn you around here and show you what I don't have done yet. Okay, the switch panel up there and the fuse block and this breaker down here, they're all done and functional. And then that 2000 watt pure sine inverter switch, I've just got to plug that in and run the wire down. It's just got like a old phone type cord plug in. I haven't done anything with the solar controller yet because I don't have any panels on the outside the bus, and I'm not going to do that until things warm up really nice where I can work outdoors. But I can still run the wires from the battery down to the battery, the group of batteries, and put a switch in just below this here, so I can always shut it off. Anyway, I can do that yet. This 500 watt pure sine inverter, that's all wired up and functional. The diesel controller is there, and it's wired up, and it's tested for power, and a little red light above it so that whenever I got power on to the diesel heater, I can see that really big time. And today I just got done buttoning up all of the power over here on that 120 volt breaker panel down to the quad of outlets, and I've tested that. And the power from that's going to come from the big inverter most of the time, but when I want to, I can bring in power from the outside from the generator or from a camping ground plug-in through shore power. I've got to put that in yet. That just goes through the wall. And so I've accomplished a lot. It's all I'm going to take care of in this video here, but hold everything. I got more done. So I'm going to take you back out to my shuttle bus and show you what I've got done. I actually finished up the control panel. So let's exit and go back out there. Okay, we're out here in the shuttle bus. And now I'm going to show you what I've accomplished. I hope it shows up good without the lights on, because I think it's probably bright enough, and with the light on it'd be too bright. So let's take a look here. Okay, 6 switches. They're up and running. Got a lighter socket. It's got 2 USB ports. It's got a little gauge in it, shows the voltage. Fuse block below that, and a breaker below that, 20 amp breaker. Then my shunt, which gives me a better reading out on the battery, showing how much has been used and what's left, and all that stuff. And then below that, you've got another breaker that's 100 amp going to that 500 watt blue pure sine inverter. Mine goes blank there for a minute. And right above that, there's a remote for the diesel heater control that you see there. The little square thing with the blue circle around it, blue border. That's for controlling the heat from the diesel heater. And the little red light above that is to tell when that's got power. Then up here, I've got way up the top right corner, I've got the on switch for the 2000 watt pure sine inverter with a what pure, it looks like a battery, shows green with how much power it's got. It's just, I think, 4 bars. And then below that is the solar power controller, the silver with a green face to it. And I've got that wired up for going to the battery so far. I don't have anything wired up coming from the solar panels because there is no solar panels mounted on the outside yet. But below that, there's a 100 amp breaker protecting the system, whether it's the controller up above or the battery system down below. And then over here on the right side is a house breaker setup, 220 amp breakers, and that's for 110 volt, and that'll come from either my generator on the outside or shore power in a campground, or from my 2000. Hang on, it just always got to do something. It only does that once a day. It's always got to be when I'm trying to talk. All right, so those 2 breakers there, from shore power, from the generator, or from my 2000 watt inverter in the back there. And then down below that is a double duplex, which is the outlets for that. And I've got it so that the right side is for shore power or from the generator, and then the left side is from the inverter. And then behind the hat there on top of the counter at the windows is a 4-foot long power strip. Goes all the way across here. And that's for the heavy duty stuff. The microwave, the toaster oven, the toaster, the coffee maker, stuff like that. So that's it. That's what I got done. Now there's still a few things to do, like the solar power. I've got to still run power from down here around to the inside here for my water pump. And it seemed like there was something else, but I still got to put in the shore power outlet, inlet, what do you want to call it? Sorry for the bouncing around here, but like I said, that's going to be down here. And then on this side, underneath the foot end of the bed, there's going to be a outlet going on the outside. So it's like a shore power when it's the opposite. So I can plug in appliances on the outside. And then there'll be this yellow cord here that's still bundled up. That's going to go from this inverter right there to the right of where the one already is. That's going to sneak around behind that leg there and behind the tank and come back up over here. And that'll hook up to that outside outlet. But it'll also come up here and above the sink, which is underneath this rubber mat here. Get my finger out of the way. There's a sink underneath that rubber mat. And then up here, there's going to be another power strip. So I can plug in things on this other side, except for I'm not really expecting to have anything electrical on this side. I don't want it necessarily where there's a sink. However, then I've got my my propane hot water heater. It's an instant hot water heater. Doesn't have a tank. And just as soon as you turn on that spigot there, that wand, it'll kick the power on. Just 12-volt battery, or 2D batteries. You can see the hatch is open there for the batteries. That'll kick on a little snapper thing that will ignite that. And you can adjust the water flow and the temperature. And then underneath by my, when I have my handicap ramp in the down position, that's going to be my shower. But it's not going to be all the way down the ground. It's just going to be down level of the floor. I'll be able to walk right onto that and take my shower outside of the bus. Water will go right down through that to the ground. But on top of this right-hand door, there's going to be what's called a big ass, I think, kick ass is what it's called. It's a shower enclosure that's canvas, and it rolls up into a zip enclosure, and then unzip it, and this four-sided enclosure falls down and would almost reach the floor of this here. So I can be naked out inside of my shuttle bus taking my shower. It's heavy enough canvas that the wind won't necessarily blow it around, but it's also got anchors to the bottom, which I can put with bungee cords, or maybe some heavy weights or something. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about that right now, but that's shower enclosure is going to go up there one of these days. Right now you can see I've got a shower curtain up here, and that's going to be for show and tell. That's for the Department of Motor Vehicles, so that I can get this retitled from commercial shuttle bus into motorhome. So that's it. I would like you to, man, it always happens when I talk. I don't know why. I would like you to subscribe. Pause this video, find the subscribe button, and subscribe. Ring the white bell. Then when it turns black, ring that. That'll give you all the notifications. And then give me a thumbs up in the video. Very few people are doing any of those things, so please get onto it. And the other thing is leave me some comments. I get in there a couple times a week here and reply to the comments. Every one of the comments that's ever been sent to me, I've replied to. Now, I got one more thing to tell you about here. I had this eye done cataract surgery on it, and it worked really good. And then the other day they did cataract surgery on this. And today is Saturday, the 29th, I believe. Let me check my watch here. 28th. And it was on Wednesday, the 25th, that I had this eye done surgery on. So now I can see a heck of a lot better. This one wasn't the real bad eye. This was the bad eye. So that was really nice to get that one working good. Now, my license says I have corrective lenses. I I can't wear my glasses. First off, I popped the lens out of this one because I couldn't see through that at all with a double correction. And now they're both, it'd be like looking through a double Coke bottle if I was to use my glasses. So anyway, I'm looking better. Yeah, right. Ain't looking any better. I'm seeing better. But anyway, still got a lot to do in here. It's drawing near the time to where I could maybe take it camping this summer. And I've got that diesel heater all working and cranking, and I've got a jug of 5-gallon jug of diesel fuel that I'm going to be putting into the 28-gallon tank that's down below here, that silver tank down there. That's 28-gallon tank. I'll show you that here. I'll show you the rest of it. There's this end of it. And you can see the green hose way down there. That's where it's drawn out of that. And then, like I've mentioned, if you've watched any of my other videos, I've got a tray for LP. I'm going to have 2 tanks stored in there. And I'll have a floor vent and then also a meter that'll be sensing propane leakage. So anyway, I'm sure having fun. I hope you're enjoying these videos, and I sure appreciate you guys watching my videos. And I hope that you'll subscribe so you get them all, because I'm not done yet. I was gonna show you some other stuff about my search for land down in Arizona, because I'd like to someday spend the winters down there in Quartzsite, way down in the southwest corner of Arizona, but then migrate up into the northeast corner, up into it's mountainous, it's higher elevation, like 6,000, 6,500, 6,700 feet of elevation, so the summers are a lot nicer up there. And to be able to drive this just between the two places, it's only like 300 miles, I think. And there's some good stores up there too. One that's only like 30 miles away is got a Walmart and a Home Depot, and in the area that I'm looking in. So if you watch the next video, that's where I'm going to be showing some more of those pieces of land, and I'll be even giving you the locations of those so that you can go in and look at them yourself and see what kind of deal there is. I'm not going to hold up on anything and try to cheat anybody out of information like some do. You know, they show you areas, but they don't show you actually pieces of land with locations. I'm going to do that because there's always more of it coming up for sale. And, you know, I'm not ready to purchase yet. Still got to check out the rest of, you know, the more of the zoning ordinances and stuff like that. So anyway, appreciate you watching this video, all the heck, you know, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Shame on you if you haven't. And like it, give me a thumbs up, and give me a comment. Good, bad, left, right, up, down, I don't care. I'll respond to all of them, even if it's not about the shuttle bus or land. You know, just ask me anything. I'll try to answer your questions to the best of my ability, even about solar if you need to know about that. So, this is Doug from youtube.com/@Tramp Traveler. So subscribe. Appreciate it. We'll catch you later.